Hello. Today we will go over the Stafford gambit. So the moves start with e4, e5, and then knight to f3. Normally we would like to play here, very classical chess, but for the Stafford gambit to commence we have to start with this. So instead of defending our pawn, we attack their pawn as well. So in this position, a lot of white players just take the free pawn, and it's better if you don't take back, because then the queen comes here, and if you're not careful, you lose your queen by this check. So what we will do here is the Stafford gambit, which is pushing up this knight. Now here, white. Obviously, the knight is under attack, and they have a one-pawn advantage. So if they just try to play a waiting move, or I guess defend the knight, which is a very bad move, they just lose their one-pawn advantage. So they'll obviously like to take the knight. So we take back with the pawn. Now the queen just has an open file. Now it is not a very good opening in the sense of like computers, but the computer is like calculating like the best possible moves that white can do, and yeah, obviously it's not very good if your opponent knows exactly what to play and they're like a very high level player. But for the sake of us playing like a beginner to slightly advanced level, this is completely fine because there's a lot of traps here. Let's start with the first one. They push the pawn here because obviously their pawn is in danger, and instead of defending, they just push here because the pawn is no longer in danger and it's also attacking the knight. And it's just a thorn in black's position. So we play this knight up here. Now, there's a normal move white can do, which is very bad for white, but they will do it because it seems like a normal move. You push this pawn up. You know, you're attacking the knight, and when the knight goes back, you push the pawn up one more time. Then you have a very solid center. But no, because you put the bishop here to c5, sacrificing the knight. So white, well, most players would just take, right? Because it's a free knight. But if you see the evaluation bar, we are very better in this position. Why? Because we have this brilliant move, sacrificing the bishop. Now, if they take the bishop, you go with the queen, and the queen is yours. And if they try to like be sneaky and then move up here so they keep defending the queen, you just bring the other bishop. Now they're completely boxed off, so the only possible move they have is capturing this bishop, and then you capture the queen, and the king with this bishop and queen partnership is in danger. The queen is gone, and you will win the game. Just a heads up though, there is a trick here that they can just capture your queen with it. Just don't be greedy and start capturing these pieces. Move it out, or like give a couple checks, because it is possible for them to get a trick and then check somehow and then open an attack on your queen. So be careful. And yeah, that's where if they advance. Now we go back here. Let's say they don't advance. They go here with the pawn. That's a very reasonable move, right? Yeah, and it is. So in this position, you bring the bishop here. You know this is a very weak pawn. You keep pressure on it. And they might play this move, trying to pin your knight. In this position, you can do a brilliant sacrifice of a queen. You take this pawn, the queen is gone. You can just take the queen. But if you notice, the evaluation bar says mate in 2. Why? You take this, king, only move here, and this bishop comes here to deliver a beautiful checkmate. The king is completely boxed off. So that's the first thing they can do. And the second thing they can do is obviously try to get their king quickly back to safety, which is a very reasonable move to do. And what you have to do here is not castle, because you want this rook here on this file. You'll see why later. You push this pawn up here. And then just castle. Then you push the knight here. Now, in this position, you see we're mostly equal. 0.1 0.5 is basically nothing even in Grandmaster level, because this is very intense bot evaluation. So yeah, it doesn't make any sense to like even Grandmasters. So what they might do here is take. Taking is not good. Although the bot says it's equal, it's really not at a low level, because you take this and you have this rook constantly harassing this king on this weak pawn. Then you bring this queen here attacking this, and it's going to be pretty bad for white. What the other thing they might do is push this pawn up to just kick the knight, right? Well, they can do that, but you do this sneaky move again, queen up here. Now, what are you threatening here? You're threatening this queen to here, checkmate. Well, they might say, well, obviously this square is only protected by this knight, so if I take the knight, there's no more threat of a mate. Well, that's wrong. You can see the eval bar, mate in 5. You take this, and now you have a devastating attack on the king. White doesn't really have anything. This is unstoppable. What they might think to do is going here, which is a very, very simple mistake, because you take this pawn, it is checkmate. Why? Because this pawn cannot take, because it is pinned by the bishop that we put here. So that's one variation. And if they just take and then they try to like run away like this, you give a check, they come here, checkmate again. So this is the deadly Stafford gambit. Try it out, and then hopefully you're gonna win a lot of games.